there's Earthlings, there's Forks Over Knives, there's Cowspiracy, and then there's the Gary Yourofsky speech.
Mm-hmm.
Those are kind of known as the big 4 films that inspire people to go vegan.
Mm-hmm.
We're watching the Gary Yourofsky speech today. This was your idea.
Yep.
Yeah, why did you pick this one?
Because somebody said something mean in the comments.
What did they say?
Oh, just something about how she's so ignorant and blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
I was like, screw that, I'm gonna watch something.
And we thought it'd be interesting to invite some non-vegan friends to join us so that we could sort of get a diverse reaction to the movie. How are you guys doing today?
Great. Pretty good.
Is this what you thought it was going to be?
No.
What did you think we were doing?
Wow, you're the worst at inviting people into
I
things.
thought that we were going to give you feedback on something that you made about
Agreed.
veganism.
Agreed.
I'm sorry for not being more clear. You're a vegetarian, right?
I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah.
But I do eat fish, so I'm a pescatarian.
Mhm.
Yes. And have been for about 21 years.
Why did you go vegetarian originally?
Because my older sister did, and she was like the coolest person in the whole world. And also, some woman from PETA showed up at my house, like literally knocked on the door like a Jehovah's Witness, and was like, "I'm gonna show you a video of pigs being slaughtered." And I saw that, and it terrified me. So I do appreciate veganism as far as when I do it, I feel different and I enjoy it. The thing that's kept me away is convenience.
I really like food. I'm Korean, so my mom cooked, of course we'd have pizza order in sometimes, but she is a great cook, and so she would cook dinner every night. So I think it's hard for me as an adult now to think about giving up all of these things that I've learned to love, especially certain things that my mother makes that are really just sort of comfort foods for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard to think about giving up cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I date a vegan, so that's about it.
Before you met me?
Before I met you, I didn't know any vegans. I had a friend who was a vegetarian, and that's because she didn't want animals to die for her.
Mm-hmm.
But veganism was something that I had never really encountered at all.
Do you feel like you're doing it mostly for me?
Yeah, to start off with, that's why I did it, because you didn't want to have meat products in the house or anything like that. So I was like, okay, cool. This is not something that is that big of a deal for me, so I can concede to that. And it's not like I sit here and crave, like, oh, I wish I could go fry up a steak or something like that. No, the only times that I ever do eat non-vegan is sometimes if I'm not with you and I don't make a vegan decision.
A vegan decision.
A vegan decision.
Sounds like a name for a band.
The Vegan Decisions.
Why do you think people go vegan?
I think probably mostly for the environmental and sort of cruelty prevention elements.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like most people are selfish, and if they're told that like they'll make the planet a better place by being vegan, that doesn't move them to change their lives. I bet a lot of people do it because they need to lose weight or they have a health issue. Going from like a meat eater or someone in Myung's position where like you don't have health issues and you have like a meat-based diet, but you eat a lot of vegetables too, and then to switch all the way to vegan, I don't know why, honestly, anyone would do that.
Alright, so there is some graphic footage interspersed throughout, but most of it is a guy talking. If you ever get uncomfortable and want to leave or stop, totally fine. I'm interested in your honest reaction to this movie. If you think this guy's a joke and this is stupid, I'm interested in communicating better about the issue. So I want to know what works and what doesn't work. That's basically the point of it.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
That concludes the Gary Yourofsky video.
Are you doing this one at a time, or are we just all having a conversation?
Let's just get some reactions while it's fresh in your mind. What did you think?
The beginning was very sensational. He was like comparing things to slavery and the Holocaust, and I just felt like I was telling them that if I was a student in that class, I would have been really angry. Even if I was like already a vegan, I would have felt like just the sensational way he was speaking was just really obnoxious.
I did find that really offensive. And it's not like he worked
which part?
the slavery and the Holocaust, because it's not like he worked up to that by sort of establishing, a cow's baby being ripped away, and like that humanizes the cow, you know? So it would be one thing even if he sort of worked his way up to, you know, pigs are as smart as a 3-year-old or what have you. But he didn't. He started out by saying it's absolutely equal to slavery and Holocaust. And that to somebody who doesn't already think that animals are equal to people is going to just be very offensive. Do you personally feel that every animal is equal to a human?
Do I personally feel that every animal is equal to a human?
Like,
no.
Like he does.
If Myung is drowning and a chicken is drowning, I'm gonna save Myung.
Well, we are friends.
Yeah.
How well do you know the chicken?
Yeah, you know the chicken. You don't know Myung. You love the chicken.
You're making it really
Myung
tough for me.
is an IRS agent. You're being audited. But when he started talking about the fact that, like, you know, there are no diseases that come from vegetables, and that if you eat like as much as you want of like a vegan lifestyle, it's never gonna clog your arteries or hurt you. That was when it started to be effective. And then the dairy stuff was unfortunately very effective, because I never imagined that once you turn to like organic products for dairy that, you know, like that a lot of vegetarians eat, that there's still like the cruelty aspect of how it's just inevitable. That's I guess an interesting sidebar of this is like, what does it mean when you turn to organic products for dairy? Does that actually change the way that the product is being produced? Because if not, then it's just the same as everything you've seen.
Yeah, no, I think it just means that they're like fed organically.
Yeah, which isn't something you think about. You think it's an organic process.
Yeah.
Not, you know,
Something
like
of the
everything
earth.
about it is like back to nature or something. It's I think it's a self-deception in the same way that a lot of things about food, you just deceive yourself into thinking it's fine.
What worked for you, Liz?
I think the whole seeing like the first clip of graphic footage. I mean, seeing all that stuff, how it actually takes place, that a company earns money off of torturing and killing animals, and seeing the way that they do it, and knowing that it's not a humane process at all, and just knowing that it's a product to them rather than a living being.
I wasn't expecting to be sort of changed or moved a great deal by this thing, and I thought that honestly just showing me the very graphic clips could have done exactly the same thing. The first one, you know, where I had to walk out, I mean, I felt really terrible about that, because I know that out of all of us, like, I'm the one who should be able to watch that or have, like, an obligation to watch it. But he's right. I mean, I thought that was really effective. Like, I do have blinders on for selfish reasons. I definitely want to eat less cheese now. And maybe try almond milk or whatever.
The thing that I was wondering a lot during the slaughtering portion was, it was happening in Israel or it was happening in the United States, but not what kinds of factories. And that's, I mean, I think that's really important for anyone who's already thought about this, especially, and wanted to discern like where their meat is coming from before they eat it, but they've chosen to continue eating meat. Like, knowing that, for example, I'd never heard or seen the fact that male chicks were just ground up like that. That's horrifying. I immediately assumed that's Purdue or Tyson or like one of the biggest companies. But to know that that was like a smaller company or an organic farm or something like that, just what kinds of companies have those practices?
That's everybody.
That would, I didn't know that. And I didn't get that from the video either.
Well, you personally, now knowing that it does happen, do you think that you're going to be motivated to look it up?
with organic farms, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I am motivated to just not eat it, honestly. I don't know you can't ask like a restaurant where their eggs come from
Yeah, it's not
necessarily.
Portland.
Yeah, you just have to not eat them.
I thought one thing that was a missed opportunity was the dehumanizing effect that having this be your job has on the person. I can't believe that
crazy.
only sadists get into this, you know? It has to be something about the factory.
I mean, can you imagine if that was your
Process.
job? You're basically pitted against the animals.
And you're forced to make them seem like products in your own head, otherwise you wouldn't be able to do your job.
Right.
Sure, I mean they could probably do something else, but they don't. And what they have to do to dehumanize themselves to be able to get through their day.
And that empathy would actually probably lead back to the fact that that's probably a common thing. It's not just Ohio. Because when you're constantly doing that work, that punching could be the equivalent of throwing your phone when you're
Angry.
when you're angry. It's something they're so used to. They have this switched point of view. So
And you hate your job, and
Yeah.
your job is this animal.
You're underpaid,
And you hate
and
the animal.
and it's not doing what you wanted to
Yeah.
do, so you wanted like
So
punish it.
That to me that was very disturbing, and it was something that I had never thought about.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of other elements.
Do you guys want to continue this outside with some vegan cookies?
Yep. Okay.
Sure. It's a lot of protein for a cookie.
How much?
16 grams.
Oh, yeah. It's more than like a can of beans.
It's like 3 eggs. So I was telling Melody that I'm gonna try going pescatarian for a while.
That's amazing. Is that a result of having watched the movie?
Yes,
That's incredible.
absolutely. I mean, not forever. I want to try it.
Uh-huh.
You know, it would be a big lifestyle change for me.
Yeah, that's huge, Myung.
I'm sure it's not huge for your audience.
Yeah, it is. We're all about baby steps.
Yeah. Yeah?
A big mistake that people make when they get interested in this is like, I gotta go in cold turkey.
Yeah.
They'll watch a movie like that and they'll get really angry and think I gotta do something, and they'll dive right into it, and then they don't know how to eat well, and they're socially ostracized, and it's just a total 180-degree lifestyle change, and they get burned on it.
I think I'm comfortable cutting dairy out as well.
What is your husband Aaron going to say?
I'm glad I couldn't make it. No. I'm sure he'll be, very supportive.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully, the less meat I eat every year, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And, as close to zero as I can get, great.
I think about that sometimes, like, not eating something, kind of like voting, because the most powerful thing out of all of this is money.
Mm-hmm.
And where you put your money, and every dollar taken away from an industry and put somewhere else, or just not spent, is influential, maybe more than anything.
I feel that way too. Like, of all the problems in the world, this is one that you can have the most direct impact on based on your buying decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it adds up over time.
Yeah.
Oh shit, the bird got a fucking worm.
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
I mean, don't kill the worm, but
Dude.
Oh,
shit.
Is that a stick or a worm? It's
No, that's a worm.
No, that's
Worm.
definitely a worm. That's badass. Now he's
Nature
like,
in action, folks.
You want to save it?
Oh, wow.
You see, that
Oh.
that bird doesn't need to be vegan.
Godzall.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Well, that went much better than I expected it to.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's hard not to react a certain way after seeing something so
Visceral.
convincing. Yeah,
Yeah.
so visceral, so convincing on so many levels. I think just the important part is like having people still connect with those feelings again
Yeah.
and still associate those things.
And you feel connected with those feelings?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you maybe just a little bit more vegan? Like, it makes a little bit more sense, and you'll make that vegan decision.
Yeah.
Liz and the vegan decision.
Next time, Liz is on her own. She's gonna work on that vegan decision.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's better than before we watched the video, and that's what counts. Cool. You wanna make out?